Hello everyone, and welcome back to Uncle Matt's Workbench. I want to share with you some customs that I made over the Labor Day weekend. I know I've mentioned before that I have a nephew who is way into Star Wars and he loves figures. I've given him a lot of figures, and these two customs are specifically, I made these just for him. So the first one we've got right here, this is Jedi Master Uncle Matt. This figure was, I made this figure out of a Kit Fisto. I'm not sure what line it was, but it's a fully articulated Kit Fisto figure. I just took his head off and his hands off, and then I took the head and hands from an Obi-Wan, Episode 2 Obi-Wan, and I shaved his head, painted some gray into his beard. He looks pretty convincingly like me, not identical, but close enough. The hands had to be altered just a little bit. The posts that stick in there are too skinny and too long to fit in to those wrists, so I had to trim them a little bit, and I used the gel type super glue to fill in the cavity. And his lightsaber is just a Power of the Force 2 Obi-Wan saber. It's just a spare saber that I had. And this cloak, this came from a Black Series 3.75-inch Jedi Luke, and it's the wrong cloak for Luke, so I'm not going to keep it for Luke. It's the wrong one. Luke's cloak doesn't have sleeves, so that's Uncle Matt's cloak now. And then standing next to Uncle Matt, that is his Padawan, Trey Skywalker. Let's take his little cloak off. This one was a whole lot simpler. I started with a Padawan Anakin. All I did was cut his little bun off the back of his head, and that little braid that they have, the little braid from the side, I cut that off, and then I painted him blonde, and that's that. I also made Trey his own little short lightsaber, and this was also a Power of the Force 2 Obi-Wan saber. I trimmed the end of it off the hilt and repainted it. The blade was already cut down because this was one of those long sabers, and I took a section of the blade to use on a vintage Obi-Wan so that he would have a translucent saber. And I kept this thinking that eventually it will come in handy for something somewhere, and it did. So I actually just did that today. So there we have it. Trey Skywalker and Jedi Master Uncle Matt.